Despite the critical acclaim and box office success it received upon release, Looper remains one of the most underrated sci-fi movies in recent memory. From Rian Johnson, Looper is a unique time travel movie that stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt as a hitman tasked with killing his future self, Bruce Willis, when he is sent back in time. The time travel genre might seem to run out of ideas at times, but Looper finds interesting and exciting new approaches to the concept. Johnson builds an intriguing world that feels complex yet doesn't distract from the human story at the center. More impressively, it was done on a budget of $30 million, eventually earning over $175 million worldwide, via Box Office Mojo. With 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, Looper seems like a big success on paper, but as one of the best sci-fi movies of the 21st century, it is simply not talked about enough. While Johnson has found a lot of success with the Knives Out movies, more people need to discover this brilliant earlier movie. Yes, Looper was a critical and commercial hit, but it deserved even more. Looper deserves to be considered a modern classic. It can be hard for original sci-fi movies to find success these days, and the same was still true in 2012 when Looper was released. Johnson has always been a favorite with critics. The Brothers Bloom ranks as his lowest-rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes, still with a solid 68%. However, they took more notice of him with Looper. The box office success is also impressive, but it was international audiences that made up the majority of the tally. In America, Looper was only a modest hit, helped by its lower budget. Though the movie is talked about fondly among fans, the word of mouth has not led to it finding the recognition it really deserves. Looper should be discussed alongside the best sci-fi movies in recent memory. While Christopher Nolan's sci-fi movies like Inception and Interstellar are regarded as modern masterpieces, Looper stands up against either of those titles as a brilliant genre movie from a visionary filmmaker. Had Looper been the same movie with Nolan's name attached, it is hard to doubt that it would be celebrated as a stunning achievement. Perhaps it was some of the backlash from Johnson's next movie, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, that led people to ignore Looper. However, pretending that Looper is a less sci-fi movie compared to Nolan's work or some of the bigger franchises is denying yourself an exceptional film. As Johnson's reputation continues to rise, there is still hope that Looper gets recognized as it should have been all along. Looper is one of the most inventive sci-fi movies of the 21st century. Rian Johnson brought new bold ideas to the genre. Looper clearly takes inspiration from James Cameron's The Terminator, and there is even some influence from Akira that is possible to find, but it is a wholly original sci-fi movie. The concept of hitmen who kill people who are being sent back in time is an intriguing idea that presents some amazing sequences. In one of the most memorable sequences, Seth, Paul Dano, allows his future self to escape, instead of executing him as he was meant to. Seth is apprehended by his employers and has his limbs slowly cut off. Older Seth sees these body parts disappearing in real time as he realizes he has to turn himself over. It is a completely original idea that has never been seen in a sci-fi movie like this, yet it immediately makes perfect sense in the world Rian Johnson has built. Yet Johnson also takes bold swings in introducing other elements into the story, like a portion of the population having telekinetic abilities. It could have been a gimmicky addition to the story, but Johnson introduces it subtly, building it into this world and ultimately making it a key part of the story. Johnson's ability to take such big concepts and still maintain a character-driven sci-fi movie is what makes Looper such a classic of the genre. The lack of a Looper sequel makes the original's legacy even more special. Looper stands on its own as a complete story. The success of Looper would have been enough to justify a sequel, and turning it into a franchise might actually help bring more attention to the first movie. However, the fact that Looper remains a standalone film allows it to keep an unblemished reputation and establish it as a movie fans can keep returning to. The world that Rian Johnson built is certainly ripe for more stories, but he told a complete story in Looper that doesn't need to be returned to. It is the kind of time travel movie that ties all the pieces of the past, present, and future together into a thoroughly satisfying conclusion. Instead of a sequel to Looper, it would be even more exciting to see Johnson return to the sci-fi world. While there are still many who hold out hope for Johnson's own Star Wars trilogy coming together, Looper makes me want to see him tackle an original idea again, and hopefully get more recognition for his previous sci-fi classic.